continuous tense. Today we are going to do past continuous tense, which is also known as past progressive tense. And this tense is used to describe an action or event that was happening at a specific point in the past. It is formed by using the past tense of the verb to be, that is, was or were, which is followed by the present participle ing form, that is the present participle. To continue with, let us do the structure. The different structure and the examples are as given. Subject plus was or were, present participle plus object. Example, I was writing a letter when she called. Subject plus was or were, present participle plus adverb. She was walking home when it started to rain. Subject plus was or were plus present participle plus prepositional phrase. Example, the children were playing in the park when I saw them. So, when I saw them is the prepositional phrase. Subject plus was or were plus present participle plus infinitive. She was hoping to win the race. So, to win the race here is infinitive. Subject plus was or were plus present participle plus gerund. He was enjoying watching the game. Watching is gerund here. Now let us see the use and their description with example. Past continuous tense describe ongoing actions in the past. The past continuous tense is used to describe actions that were ongoing in the past, often at a specific time or during a specific period of time. Example, the children playing in the park when I arrived. So the specific period of time given in this example is when I arrived. Second use, setting of the scene for a past event. Past continuous tense is often used to set the scene for a past event by describing the background or context of that event. Example, the sun was shining brightly and the birds were singing as I walked down the street. Third use, showing the duration of a past action. The past continuous tense can be used to show how long an action lasted in the past. Example, I was studying for hours before I finally fell asleep. So it suggests the duration. Another use, contrasting past actions. The past continuous tense can be used to contrast two or more actions that were happening at the same time in the past. I was cooking dinner while my wife was setting the table. Cooking dinner and setting the table are the two contrasting actions that are shown in this sentence. Past perfect tense. Now let us do this tense. It is a verb tense used to describe an action that was completed before a specific time in the past. And it is formed by using the auxiliary verb had followed by the past participle of the main verb. So in the past continuous tense, we are using present participle, and in past perfect tense, we are using past participle. The past perfect tense is also sometimes called the pluperfect tense. Structure of the past perfect tense is subject plus had plus past participle. Examples are given here. I had eaten breakfast before I left for work. She had finished her homework before she went to bed. They had already arrived at the party when I got there. So in these three sentences, had eaten, had finished, and had already arrived are past perfect tense. Now, what is pluperfect tense? The pluperfect tense, also known as the past perfect tense, and is used to describe an action that happened before another action in the past. It is like a past tense of the past tense. Now, that will be clear with the example. Now, imagine you're telling a story about your weekend. You say, I went to the park and played frisbee with my friends. Now, this is the simple past tense, and it describes the action of going to the park and playing frisbee. Now, let's add another action to the story. You say, I had already eaten lunch before I went to the park. This is where the pluperfect tense comes in. The action of eating lunch happened before the action of going to the park. So we use the pluperfect tense to indicate that. Here is another example. I had already finished my homework when my parents got home. Here had finished is the pluperfect tense. Why is it so? Because this tense is happening before the second action, which is the second action when my parents got home. So, in a nutshell, the pluperfect tense is used to describe an action that happened before another action in the past. It is a way of sequencing events in the past and making it clear which action happened first. Negative past perfect tense. The negative past perfect tense is formed by using the auxiliary verb had not followed by the past participle of the main verb. For example, I had not eaten breakfast when I left for work. She had not finished her homework before she went to bed. They had not yet arrived at the party when I got there. Question past perfect tense. The question past perfect tense is formed by using the auxiliary verb had followed by the subject and the past participle of the main verb. For example, had I eaten breakfast before I left for work? Had she finished her homework before she went to bed? Had they already arrived at the party when you got there? Now come to the uses of past perfect tense. To show an action that happened before another action in the past. I had already eaten dinner by the time you arrived. To show that something happened before a specific time in the past. She had written her first novel by the age of 25. To describe a background action that was ongoing before another action in the past. I had been living in New York for 5 years when I met my wife. To express regret or disappointment about something that happened in the past. I wish I had studied harder for the exams. To make a hypothetical statement about the past. If I had known you were coming, I would have cooked you dinner. Continuing the video, let us now do past perfect continuous tense. Past perfect continuous tense describes an action that started in the past and continued up to a specific time in the past. Confusingly, combines the past perfect, that is action completed before another past action, with the continuous action, that is action in progress. Structure given: subject plus had been plus ing form of the main verb. Examples given here: I had been studying for hours when my friend called. She had been working all day when she got the news of her promotion. They had been arguing for a long time before I arrived. Now let us see the uses given here of past perfect continuous tense. First, to describe an action that started in the past and continued up to another point in the past. I had been studying for hours before the exam. To emphasize the duration of an action that was completed before another action in the past. She had been painting for 2 days when her masterpiece was finally finished. To set the scene for a past event by describing the background activities. The air was thick with smoke as firefighters had been battling the blaze for hours. To explain the reason for a past condition, the carpet was soaked because it had been raining heavily all night. To create a sense of contrast between two past actions, she had been working tirelessly all day, so she was exhausted by the time she got home. Here, the simplest difference table given of the two tenses past perfect and past perfect continuous tense. It summarizes the use of the two tenses in an easy method. Continuing, we are covering the simple future tense here. Simple future tense tells you what will happen next. Structure, subject plus will plus base form of the verb. Example, I will go to the store tomorrow. She will cook dinner tonight. They will play in the park this weekend. To make the simple future negative, use will not before the base form of the verb. I will not stay up late tonight. She will not go to the party. They will not eat dessert. To ask a question in the simple future, put will before the subject. For example, will I see you tomorrow? Will she finish her homework on time? Will they be home for dinner? Now let us do the uses. Making prediction about the future. I will visit my friend next week. Expressing intentions or plans. I'm going to study hard for my exams. Making requests or offers. Will you please help me carry this bag? Giving instructions and commands. You will not leave the house until you finish your homework. Expressing possibilities or hypotheses. The plane will probably arrive late. Future continuous tense. The future continuous tense describes an action that will be happening at a specific time in the future. Structure given, subject plus will be plus present participle. Examples, I will be studying at 7 p.m. tomorrow. She will be driving to the airport when her plane lands. They will be playing a game when you arrive. Uses of future continuous tense. For ongoing actions, I will be giving a presentation at 2 p.m. tomorrow. For hypothetical situations, we will be using holograms soon. For plans and arrangements, I will be meeting my friend for dinner next week. For scheduled events, the plane will be landing at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Simultaneous future actions. I will be watching TV while my friend is cooking dinner. Continuing in the video, future perfect tense. The definition of future perfect tense goes like this. It is a tense used to talk about an action that will be completed before a specific time in the future. Structure is auxiliary verb will have followed by the past participle of the main verb. Examples, by tomorrow I will have finished my homework. By the time you arrive, the party will have already started. She will have graduated from college by the time she turns 22. The structure for different person goes like this. In the following table, it is given I will have finished, you will have finished, he, she, or it will have finished, we will have finished, they will have finished. So structure is subject plus will have plus the past participle. Now let us continue with the uses. To state an action that will be completed before a specific time in the future. We will have finished dinner by 8 p.m. To express an action that will be completed before another event in the future. By the time you arrive, I will have cleaned the house. To talk about the duration of a condition that will end before a specific time in the future. She will have lived in France for 5 years by the time she moves back to her home country. Here comes the last part of the video, future perfect continuous tense. It describes an action that will have been in progress for a specific duration by a certain time in the future. The structure goes like this: subject plus will plus have plus been plus verb in present participle plus object or complement. So we have come to the use of future perfect continuous tense. It describes an action that will have been continuing up to a specific point in the future. Example, by the time next year I will have been living in Paris for 5 years. So here we have completed the definition, structure and uses of all tenses. I hope it was an easier way to summarize and comprehend all the kinds of tenses. Thank you for watching.